And good evening, fans. Welcome to the city of Nagasaki here in Japan. This is the semifinals of the B.LEAGUE 2026 playoffs, and indeed, Nagasaki VELCA right now on fire after their convincing elimination of Alvac Tokyo will be taking on the Chiba Jets. Well, the Jets haven't been to the B.LEAGUE finals since 2023, being swept by the Ryukyu Golden Kings. And right now, this team, without John Mooney, the only player averaging a double-double this season in the B.LEAGUE for the Jets, they're going to have to try and find something from within, because Nagasaki, well, their rise has been exponential. Going from the very lowest division of Japanese basketball, promotion after promotion, and after a season or two in the B-League, now find themselves the #1 team with the best record of 47 victories and only 12 defeats. There you can see the standings. Jets taking on Nagasaki VELCA. The other semifinals will see Nagoya Diamond Dolphins return to the semis since 2024 after losing to eventual champions the Hiroshima Dragonflies. They'll take on the Ryukyu Golden Kings. Could we have a repeat of the 2023 B-League finals in which we would see both Chiba Jets and Ryukyu Golden Kings at the Yokohama Arena? But both Nagasaki VELCA and the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins will have something to say about that. Well, it was an exciting atmosphere. Alvac Tokyo in that first game against Nagasaki, losing quite convincingly. Because Nagasaki, a team that shoots 34% from the three-point line, and they have the B-League three-point king in Lee Hyun-jung, the Korean international. Well, Nagasaki were brilliant in that opening game. Of course, they won 93-78, but they weren't done there, as they simply eliminated Alvac Tokyo, the two-time champions of the B-League, 96-56. And thus cemented their position in the semifinals. Well, it was a team effort, no doubt about it, but Lee Hyun-jung finished with 27 points in Game 2, shooting only 3 out of 4 from the three-point line, but he did finish with a double-double. Well, Baba Boom, since returning back to Japan, eliminating his former employees, here's Lee Hyun-jung, the Korean sniper, buries in the corner, that time going backdoor, getting the beautiful assist. Well, they've been a fun team to watch all season long. There's no doubt about it. This was a telling victory because not many teams get into the playoffs their first season and start off on the high note. But they'll have to go up against the Chiba Jets. Well, the tough play by Stanley Johnson, who's been very phenomenal this season with the Nagasaki VELCA. Of course, drafted by the Detroit Pistons in the 2015 NBA draft in the first round with the 8th pick. But now finding his trade here in the Japanese B-League. Well, Nagasaki know this is going to be a tough test. There's no doubt about it. But if they're going to try to win this series, they've got to replicate that same success we've just seen Bada Boom and Masaya Karimata from downtown. I mean, this is a very good three-point shooting team. And the stats speak for itself, scoring 94 points per game. But you also have to commend their defense. Their defense has also been very outstanding. They're actually getting 91 points per game, but so far only giving away 79 points to their opponents. I mean, that's close to the defense we saw exhibited by Alvac Tokyo in previous seasons here in the B-League. But it's a tough test tonight as they'll go up against Yuki Togashi and Yuto Watanabe's Chiba Jets. Well, Big Mikey in the house. Of course, you know that he's going to have a big part to play with this team, and there is their head coach, Maor, the Israeli international. Of course, he's done a magnificent job with this team since taking over of Nagasaki VELCA. Well, very soon we're going to turn our attentions to the visitors, the Chiba Jets. And the Jets actually lost their first game of the first round against Guma Crane Thunders. And many would have assumed that it was going to be typical Jets fashion, falling short of expectations here in the playoffs. But credit to this team. They dug deep at the Lala Bay Tokyo Arena, the state of the art. There you can see the result from Game 1, losing by 19 points. But responding with a bang in Game 2, winning by a narrow 6 points. Yuto Watanabe having a very successful and very productive Game 2 with this team. Watanabe obviously only finished with 9 points. The leading scorer was Nasir Little, who did finish with 33 points and 7 rebounds, 3 shy of a double-double. Well, Nasir Little's game has skyrocketed since joining the Chiba Jets. And under head coach Trevor Gleason, the Jets faithful The home crowd, they have definitely loved every bit of his game so far. And this game 3 was do or die for both teams. But Chiba Jets, that time from Ren Kanichka. Little pick and roll action with Nasillo. Went in with a two-handed rim rocker. Well, Jets made it count when it mattered, that's for sure. That crucial Game 3 victory. And although they were only 25% from the three-point line, they made sure that every three-pointer that they hit went in when it definitely mattered. Because Nasir Little finished that night with 20 points. Second leading scorer was Ren Kanichka, who did put up a very impressive 14 points. He was 4 out of 5 from the three-point line. And well, it was his time, his moments. It's been a very competitive B-League playoff race for sure. Nagoya Diamond Dolphins eliminating defending champions Utsunomiya Brex. Well, the Golden Kings, in my mind, they're one of those teams that know how to dig deep when it comes to playoffs. Well, fans watching live on B.LEAGUE International YouTube, we thank you for joining us live on the B.LEAGUE International YouTube page. Please, if you're watching this game, give this live stream a like. Also, subscribe to B.LEAGUE International on YouTube. And make sure you follow B.LEAGUE on X, Instagram, and Facebook, where you can keep up to date with all the best news, highlights, and content that matter to you most. Just anticipating a lot of Korean basketball fans will be tuning in later on this evening due to the prominent rise of Lee Hyun-jung, the B-League three-point king. So, to all of our Korean fans, 안녕하세요. 내 이름은 Josh Bet, 나는 농구 선수. 만나서 반갑습니다. Well, we're right now in the Nagasaki Arena. This arena hosted the 2026 B-League All-Star Weekend, and what a great showcase it was, and great to see Nagasaki rising up the B-League rankings and now getting themselves into the B-League playoffs. But the job is only halfway done. You got to win this series to get to the Yokohama Arena, and then when you get there, you're either going to meet Nagoya Diamond Dolphins or Ryukyu Golden Kings. And what's very impressive about the Golden Kings, if they are to make the finals this season, they would have made it to 5 consecutive B-League finals. They've only won once. That was back in 2023 against the Chiba Jets. Question is, can they get it done again? That game will be tipping off same time, same platform, B-League International. Both semifinals will be taking place live here on the B-League's International YouTube platform. Well, take a look at some of the roster here. Some key players you want to look out for. DJ Hogue, who's been one of their leading scorers this season, number 10. Nasir Little, who we mentioned in the highlights. While also Yuki Togashi and Yuta Watanabe. Watanabe, one of the more predominant NBA players in Japan's history, like Rui Hachimura and Yuta Tabuse for that matter. But Togashi is the first ever $1 million Japanese player. Number 2, because 32 years young, still going very high. Came back to Japan after a brief stint in the NBA G League, or the NBA Summer League, excuse me, and then play his trade out in Italy with Dinamo Sassari before returning to Japan. Well, there's Fumio Nishimura, one of the legends of this team. Our 3 referees tonight, we're very proud to say we have 3 of the very finest here in the B-League. They'll continue to do a magnificent job here tonight in Nagasaki. Well, we are going to introduce starting lineups in both teams very soon. We'll begin with the Chiba Jets. And I would imagine, we've seen a lot of Yuki Togashi coming off the bench for the Jets this season. And I think that's a tactical decision made by Trevor Gleason. Now, here's the starting lineup. They'll have Yuta Watanabe, along with Naoki Tashiro, former Ryukyu Golden Kings player, as well as DJ Hogue. Final 2 players, Garrison Brooks, as well as Shuta Hara, because he was prominent for them when they won the B-League title back in 2021 against Utsunomiya Brex. Well, his first game in the B-League was against Utsunomiya Brex last season, fell short of an ankle injury. And we just saw Naoki Tashiro. DJ Hogue, because very experienced player, as is Garrison Brooks. So this also means Nasir Little will be coming off the bench tonight. No John Mooney, as I mentioned, which does make the Jets slightly thinner. But they took care of business against the very talented, very tough Gunma Crane Thunders. Well, now, fans, we're going to enjoy the local entertainment before we introduce the starting 5 for the Nagasaki VELCA.
You're proud of me, Nagasaki. I don't care what it is.
Are you ready? It's your Nagasaki VELCA! Number 1, Kenji Matsumoto. Number 4, Masaya Karimata.
Well, they say history is about building blocks, and that's exactly what Nagasaki VELCA are doing. The team, as I mentioned, they've come right from the very bottom of the lowest division of Japanese professional basketball, but season after season, when they were led by Matt Bonds, who now is a member of Osaka Vesa, they found their way to the top flight of professional basketball here in Japan. And well, they'll say this is their time to shine. But to do so, they have to go through the one-time champion Chiba Jets. Well, Big Mikey Kyosachi played the FIBA Asia Cup for Japan last summer. Well, we call him Big Mikey. His name is Hayato Yamaguchi. Well, there is a starting five. Now, Hyung Jun Lee, or Lee Hyung Jun, the Korean international, is the player to look out for. 17 points per game. Stanley Johnson's their leading scorer, so he's going to be a key impact player along with Ko Kumagai in the backcourt. Another very good, prominent three-point shooter here for Nagasaki VELCA. Final two players to come in will be Baba Boom, former Alvak Tokyo player and former BCL Asia champion when it was called the FIBA Asia Champions Cup in 2019. Well, the final player will be Ako Mitchell, who actually played in the Basketball Champions League Europe with Ike Athens back in 2023, and a former player in the Philippine Basketball Association. Well, the atmosphere buzzing tonight. Stanley Johnson will be coming off the bench this evening. One of the key players to look out for tonight. Like I said, a first-round pick in the NBA draft back in 2019 with the Detroit Pistons. Well, the fans are ready for the occasion. And fans, if you're watching this game live on B.LEAGUE International, remember, other player to look out for also coming off the bench for the Chiba Jets, number 8, Nasir Little. It's been so monumental, crucial to the fabric of this team's offense. But going back to what I was saying, fans, if you're watching live on B.LEAGUE International, please let us know where in the world you're watching this game. Let us know your name so we can give you a shout out. And which team are you supporting? Are you supporting the Chiba Jets, coached by Maor, or are you supporting, or coached by, Trevor Gleason, or are you supporting Nagasaki VELCA, coached by Maor? They're the starting fives now. Naoki Tashiro is going to have the defensive duties against Ko Kumagai, while Lee Hyun-jung is going to go up against the physicality of Shutahara. Yuta Baba will take on his national teammates in Yuta Watanabe in the bigs. Well, DJ Hogue will have to go up against the brute strength of Jarrell Brantley, while Ako Mitchell is indeed going to match up with the likes of Garrison Brooks. Well, just seen a question on the live YouTube chat. Which is the home team? That is Nagasaki VELCA. If you haven't noticed, Chiba Jets play in red, Nagasaki in white and navy blue, and the home court colors are navy blue. I hope that answers the question for you. Ako Mitchell jumping with Garrison Brooks. Welcome everybody live here in Nagasaki. B.LEAGUE Playoffs Semifinals Game 1. And it will be Nagasaki with the first possession. Because we're going to have to try to get something from the perimeter with Lee Hyun-jun. Nice backdoor cut at Gamsam Hamnida. Kumao. Hyun-hyun. Hajima. Genchana already from the Korean international. He is more than just a spot-up three-point shooter. As now Jets trying to respond here with Yuta Watanabe. Hara getting a quick penetration. That's good defense. But Watanabe goes for an early three and buries this one from downtown. Well, one thing he's improved immensely on is his movement when he doesn't have the ball in his hands. That's going to be a moving screen. The three-pointer won't count from Lee Hyun-jun. 48% three-point shooter is the Korean international. That is Genchana, as they say in Korea. But that three, unfortunately, will not count. A moving pick called against Akil Mitchell. Inside the paint, nice little give-and-go action. As Naoki Tashiro, not known to be a predominant scorer for the Chiba Jets. Also when he played for the Ruku Golden Kings when they won the championship in 2023. Nagasaki VELCA, Ko Kumagai trying to build something. Lee Hyun-jun, tough contested three, he's fouled. And now he'll go to the free throw line. Well, that's the last place you want to foul Korea's #1 star play. It's on Shutahara. Because Lee Hyun-jung indeed is the second best free throw shooter for Nagasaki VELCA. He's 83% from the free throw line. He's missed 30 free throws this season. He's taken a total of 185. Because he comes from a basketball family. Both his mother and father predominant basketball players, but it was actually his mother who was one of the legends of Korean basketball. Because born and raised in Seongnam, South Korea. Joined the B-League in 2024 later on in the season when he joined Osaka Vesa. 2025 NBL champion in Australia with the Illawarra Hawks. Genchana. 안녕하세요. Well, you know when he gets going, it's going to be a problem tonight here for Chiba. Shutahara tries to bully his way. Good rejection by Akil Mitchell. That goes out of bounds. It's going to remain Chiba Jets ball on the baseline. Chiba Jets now trying to restore a bit of order. Three in the corner goes missing. Well, that's a good look for DJ Hogue, but he's unable to convert. There's now Jarrell Brantley. Patient build-up offensively here from Nagasaki VELCA. Baba going in the corner to Ko Kumagai. Time winding down. That's going to be a foul away from the ball. And already, Chiba Jets feel like they're in panic mode when trying to defend Lee Hyun-jun. Well, whoever's defending Lee Hyun-jun, there's going to be no help side defense. That doesn't mean you have to foul him. So now Kitashiro gets called for the foul. Kumagai. Little pick and pop action. Another three goes fine. This one is buried. Well, great stop for Jarrell Brantley. Simple pick and pop offense. First three-pointer of the game now here for Nagasaki VELCA. Shutahara senses a mismatch. Defended by Ko Kumagai. Wants a clear out. Goes inside the paint. Twisting. That's good defense. Lee Hyun-jun nearly coming up with a rebound. Jets come back up with it in a two-handed dunk. Well, second chance opportunity points falling in the hands of Garrison Brooks. Of course, if you're a neutral fan, you want to see this game go right down to the wire. Good defense from DJ Hogue. Akil Mitchell still has it. Gets a slight handoff. That's going to be another. Well, that's going to be two fouls already against Akil Mitchell. And already in less than 3 minutes, Akil Mitchell being called for 2 illegal screens. So they're going to have to make a change. Let's have a look here. We're not going to see the foul in that replay. Well, Mitchell's going to go to the bench. So Stanley Johnson subs in. This means that Nagasaki are going to go with a small ball lineup. High screen coming from Shutahara. Watanabe, good defense by Yudai Baba. Baba trying to keep in front. A lot of contact made. The one won't count, but 2 free throws indeed being given to Yuta Watanabe. We like the defensive intensity, but you got to remember, Watanabe does have a quick first step. So if you get right up in his face, he will go by you. He'll go both left and right. Watanabe averaging 13 points per game this season. He's a 73% free throw shooter. Because he's almost missed. He's missed 57 free throws coming into this game this season. But he's taken now. This will be his 219th free throw of the 2025-26 campaign. So he's known to draw a lot of contact. Bit of full court pressure coming from the Jets. Nice little transition. That's one way to beat the pressure. Well, excellently done by Stanley Johnson. This series could go very close between 2 teams who have one ambition. Oh, another rejection. Oh, Jarrell Brantley just said, not in my house here at Nagasaki. Hada went in. Brantley said, "Ia sayonara." Watanabe just outside the paint, comfortably yet conveniently tucks that one away. Watanabe's mid-range, something that's been so automatic this season and last year with the Chiba Jets. As Kumagai goes baseline, that's going to be a second foul against Naoki Tashiro. Well, Tashiro wasn't ready for Kumagai to deny the screen. That's one of the reasons why Chiba Jets signed him from Ruku Golden Kings, is that he's such a versatile defender. But you can see Trevor Gleason telling him, look, keep your hands up, as the $1 million player, Japan's first ever $1 million player, Yuki Togashi into the game. Spanish pick and roll trying to be executed. Good defense from the Jets. Togashi using 2 screens. Tries to find Nasir Little, who's also just subbed into the lineup here for the Jets. Little tries to force his way in. Well, that's going to be a bump. I think that's an offensive foul. Oh, tremendous defense from Stanley Johnson. Well, Johnson cuts off Nasir Little, stands his ground. And you just see the right elbow go into Stanley Johnson. Four minutes played here in the first quarter. Nagasaki trying to reclaim the lead. Lee Hyun-jung catch and shoot another 3. That's way off the mark. And that's how Chiba's going to defend him tonight. They're going to chase him around every screen. Make every 3-point shot a tough contested low percentage. Togashi. Jets again trying to build something. Shutahara has a good look in the corner. That 3 way off the mark. Johnson comes up with a rebound. Leading Nagasaki's charge ahead. Well, they'll go for a 3 from Yudai Baba. And Baba Boom in the corner with a 3-pointer. Well, what an impact he brings to this team, especially when he returned to Japan. After tirelessly trying to go to the NBA via the G League, but then spent a lot of time in Australia's NBL. That's still a little out of control. Hyun-jung comes up with it. Brantley finds Kumagai. Well, they'll go for Stanley Johnson through in the corner. Well, they had numbers, but failed to capitalize in the fast break. Teams defending each other so well, and there's the good defense by Lee Hyun-jung. That's a FIBA Asia Cup battle. Lee Hyun-jung up against Yuta Watanabe. Something the fans will pay a lot of money to see. 2 of the most elite players here in East Asia basketball. A nice take in the lane, unable to finish. That goes out of bounds. Bradley just tried to force his way inside the key, but unable to come up with anything. Nagasaki still holding on to a slender advantage here in the first quarter. Well, change coming into the game as Matsumoto subs in for the first time here for Nagasaki. 4:31 to go here in the first quarter. Chiba setting that high screen for Togashi. Yudai Baba, again, defending his national teammate. Want to go inside the paint. Another foul has been drawn. So that's going to be the fourth and final team foul against Nagasaki here in the first quarter. And that's on Jarrell Brantley. Well, both teams, when they get to the free throw line, they've got to make it count this evening. That's going to be the key struggle for both of them. Garrison Brooks. I'll say he's a fantastic player, but one of the areas, not that he's not a good free throw shooter. He has had some good games. It's just finding consistency, because a player of his caliber, you know he's going to get fouled a lot. He's going to get to the free throw line a lot. I'm not saying it's going to be the difference between the team getting to the B-League Finals or not, but it's the old cliche. You've got to make your free throws. A little bit of an Iverson cut action here from Yudai Baba. Well, nice backdoor play, uncontested, goes in and finishes inside the paint with Matsumoto. But that's way too easy for Nagasaki VELCA. Two-possession lead currently here to Nagasaki. Togashi pulls up for a deep three. Big offensive rebound by Watanabe, and second chance opportunity points. That's going to be a key factor. Jets only had 7 offensive rebounds in Game 3 against Guma Crane Thunders. Nice dime by. Well, beautiful move in the end. It started with Yudai Baba, but Jarrell Brantley took matters into his own hands. 3:20 to go here in the first quarter. A timeout's going to be called by the Chiba Jets as they trail by 4 here in Nagasaki. Well, fans, we will be back in just under 1 minute, but if you're watching this game live on B.LEAGUE International, please hit the like button on this live stream, subscribe to B.LEAGUE International, and let us know your name in the live YouTube comment bank where you're watching this game in the world so we can give you a shout out and which team are you supporting. Well, Red Kanichka sobbing into the game here for the Chiba Jets for the first time tonight. As we said, Kanichka 14 points in the Game 3 victory against Guma Crane Thunders. Nearly turning it over. Kanichka is able to keep this one alive. Kanichka finds his way in the paint, goes in. A little reverse action. That's a good way for him to start. Try to build on the success. 23 years of age. Little pick and pop action coming from Nagasaki. Nice take by Brantley, but in the end, good defense from Watanabe, but they turn it over. Well, Nagasaki make them pay with Stanley Johnson. Well, that's a very efficient yet quick way to convert turnovers into fast break points. Neither team wants to commit too many turnovers tonight, but Jets are looking a little bit shaky in the half court. DJ Ho trying to find an opening. That's good defense. Johnson comes up with a rebound. Nagasaki looking to push. Pile more pressure against the Chiba Jets. Little pick and roll there by Matsumoto. Well, Matsumoto throwing that one away is now. Nasir Little tries to keep this under control. May have got away with a double dribble. Good hands again from Stanley Johnson. The defense is simply suffocating. Imperious. Unbreakable. And I think that's what Stanley Johnson's arguing, is that I think Nasir Little may have got away with a double dribble. Yeah. Well, it's only game one. Only the first quarter, but Chiba Jets, plenty of basketball to play in this series. But they've got to show more composure as Ko Kumagai comes back into the game. Chiba Jets also bringing Shuta Hata back in. Trevor Gleason rotating his five quite often here in the first quarter. And why not? He's got a very talented team, a lot of options. Lee Hyun-jun back in the game. Hyung, 안녕하세요. Nagasaki, no pressure. No issue dealing with the full court pressure from the Chiba Jets. Have to commend the defense on the perimeter shooting of Lee Hyun-jung so far. Stanley Johnson trying to find separation from the mid-range. And that's cooking moments. Automatic from SJ. They have got two great individual players in both Jarrell Bradley and Stanley Johnson. Now DJ Hogue. Another three-point attempt. This one's good. Slicing it down to a three-point deficit with 80 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Another backdoor play. Again, he misses the layup. But the follow-up, still no good. Well, Hayato Yamaguchi should have finished that one. Jets can cut it down to one. They can tie the game up as Togashi misses the front iron. Now we're under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Tough defense again being exhibited by the VELCA. Nasir Little, he'll try another three. It's up, and we're all level at 21 apiece. And that could be a potential 2-for-1 for the Chiba Jets. If Jets can get one more stop here, they can afford themselves a final offense that could give them the lead going into the second quarter. Spanish pick and roll again being set. Nice take in the lane, but again, simply unstoppable by Stanley Johnson. Well, he loves to go to his left. And it's that same Spain stack pick and roll that's allowing him to go for the isolation. Chiba will go for one final offense. Togashi now gets almost caught in a double team. Nasir Little. And that's a poor foul to give away, I think. Well, Stanley Johnson just having a few words with the Chiba Jets bench. But quickly, Hayato Yamaguchi pulling him away from any trouble. Let's have a look here. Well, as Stanley Johnson tried to go for the reach, he may have had a few words with Trevor Gleason there. Oh, head coach. Well, still they're jawing at each other. And again, it's Hayato Yamaguchi having to bring him away. Now, I think the officials need to come together here because it could very well be a double technical is going to be given to both. Trevor Gleason's been given the technical foul. Now, I'm assuming Stanley Johnson's also going to be given a technical. Yes, he has been. In which case, both technicals will cancel each other out. But the free throws will still go here for Nasir Little because he was fouled, but no lineup as of yet, which probably tells me to find out the lineup. Well, he missed the free throw. So now I'm assuming, yeah, the players are going to line up because the technicals have canceled each other out. Still 4.6. Nasir Little can cut it down to a 1-point deficit. He's been averaging just under 17 points per game. He's actually the leading scorer in the 56 games he's played this season in the B-League. He's an 81% free throw shooter. I don't know what's happened here, but great question asked on the live YouTube chat by Nikos Stiv7212. Why foul with 4 seconds under these circumstances? I agree with you. It was quite an audacious gamble by Stanley Johnson, but something's happened here. I don't know why the referees are having a conversation now. No, is it due to the fact of what time should be left? I don't know. But fans, again, if you're watching this game live on B.LEAGUE International, please let me know where in the world you're watching, your name, and which team you think is going to win. be an issue with the scoreboard probably, because the score is now 23 to Nagasaki, 21 to the Chiba Jets, but that might just be a minor technical glitch. Well, 4.6 left. Nasir Little's going to have his second free throw to try and cut this down to a 1-point deficit. Chiba Jets leading scorer this season. These Jets have had a few missed free throws already here in the first quarter. But you get the vibe. Definitely a playoff atmosphere. Jets desperately trying to get back to a B-League Finals. Nasir Little makes the second one. Final possession coming up from Nagasaki VELCA. They go to Jerome Bradley. Well, Bradley's got to go. Finds all the way, and again, gets rejected. Well, just when I was about to criticize Chiba Jets' defense, it was way too easy. But the block by DJ Hogue, and I think Trevor Gleason is going to have a lot of questions to ask about his team's defense, because how easy was it with 4.6 for Jerome Bradley to get the ball up the floor? Well, fans, that is the end of the first quarter. Game 1 of the B-League semifinals of 2026. Nagasaki VELCA, the #1 team, 47 wins and only 12 defeats, have an advantage. We'll be back for the second quarter in just under 2 minutes. Welcome back, fans. Live here in the city of Nagasaki. It's playoff time. Semifinals of the B-League 2026. Nagasaki VELCA lead by 1 point. And well, they could be leading by 3 if it wasn't for that man, DJ Hogue. Renkanichka, 14 points in Game 3 of Chiba Jets' victory against Guma Crane Thunders. So far coming into the game with 2 points. Well, both teams will want to maintain some sort of pressure here early on in the second quarter. Chiba now can reclaim the lead. DJ Hogue just gets his way to the bucket, and that's way too easy. He's got to have a 30-plus point game in my mind for them to come up with a victory. Second season now playing for the Chiba Jets, DJ Hogue. Jets don't want to let Lee Hyun-jung get the ball as they go back to Ko Kumagaya. Kumagaya, they go into the screen. He'll fire another 3. Bradley coming up with the offensive rebound. He'll go for a 3-pointer. Nako Mitchell, Memphis got 2 fouls, comes up with a big offensive rebound. Bradley goes to his left, but he's not able to get the ad one, but he'll go to the free throw line. Well, how do you defend him? That's going to be a foul against Renkanichka. here's another look at the replay from Jarrell Brantley, just getting straight to the bucket. And sometimes you kind of feel Chiba Jets may need just an always stay-at-home option to help side defender. Well, Brantley 6 points so far this evening. He has hit 1 3-point field goal. Makes them both. Chiba right now just drawing into all sorts of trouble. That's going to be a foul against the young fella. Sagawa's got to play with a bit more composure in the wall. I think that's incidental, but it's definitely the right call. I don't think he did that on purpose by any means. But that's the right call. Riku Sagawa's head just going right into Ko Kumagai's head. I don't think it was anything more than that. Surely not an act of violence. But I think the officials may have to review this one. So we'll get another look at the replay to find out, was this a deliberate play? I don't think it was. But it's the right call because it's a dangerous act. So we're going to find out very soon. Still waiting to find out what the outcome will be here, but Riku Sagawa, like I said, I don't think there was too much deliberation in that, but because it's a head contact injury, obviously the referees have to take every precaution and go for the replay, which is understandable, but of course, a head injury, you never like to see anything like that because potential concussions. So we'll see how Ko Kumagai is after this one. Nearly a minute played here in the second quarter. Game 1 of the B-League semifinals. Coach Maor was flying with confidence after his team's performance against Alvak Tokyo. Because these fans, they've gone from every single division of pro basketball here in Japan. Right from B3, promotion to B2, to promotion to the B-League. And this unbelievable stadium. As I mentioned, it hosted the 2026 B-League All-Star Weekend, which we saw some of the great events, some of the great talents showcased across all divisions here in the B-League. Jarrell Brantley, number 7, already with 7 points. Well, Stanley Johnson leading them with 8 points at the moment. And Yudai Baba's put in some very good moments as well on both ends of the floor for Nagasaki VELCA. Still just awaiting the final outcome of what needs to happen here. The officials still, I think, may have just come to a decision already. Well, it's going to be possession to Nagasaki VELCA because the foul called against Riku Sagawa. Nagasaki trying to build on the slender 1-point advantage. Baba trying to find Stanley Johnson, but again, it's a turnover. And here comes Nasir Little as he throws it down with one hand. Well, that's when Nagasaki cannot afford to get too casual. Chiba Jets will make you pay. Could have argued Stanley Johnson could have rolled to the basket from Yudai Baba off the bull screen. They'll go for a quick one. Back eye, no good. Chiba comes up with it. Sagawa patiently, calmly bringing the ball up the floor for the Jets. Nagasaki switching. Lee Hyun-jung picks him up. Jets running out of time. DJ Hogue has to go from no man's land. That three's not going to go. Lee Hyun-jung comes up with it. Nagasaki not taking the foot off the pedal. They'll go quickly. Little ghost screen action coming from Yudai Baba. Lee Hyun-jung caught a double team. Another turnover. Now it's a 2-on-1. Sagawa finds DJ Hogan, converts a turnover, giving Chiba Jets a 3-point lead as Nagasaki VELCA will call timeout. Well, those are two great possessions on both ends of the floor by the Chiba Jets. Well, fans, we will return from this timeout in just under 1 minute. I mean, rushing the ball handlers. There was the first turnover by Yudai Baba. Nasir Little throws it down. And for the second time in the space of 20 seconds, Chiba Jets force another turnover. Rushing the ball handlers, Lee Hyun-jung. Well, we'll return momentarily. Nagasaki returning from the timeout, down by 3 points. Because they've got to try to build some identity here in their offense. Another penetration, there's a kick out. Contested three in the corners up, no good. Chiba Jets defending so well, rotating, switching, picking up everything. Trying to set a double high screen there for Riku Sagawa. Sagawa just being contained in the moments. 5 here on the shot clock for DJ Ho. Johnson tries to keep in front. That's a Chiba Jets turnover. Well, here comes Yudai Baba. But, well, the boom wasn't there, but Yudai Baba finished. The two-time B.LEAGUE champion with Alvak Tokyo back in both 2018 and 2019. Would love to add a third B.LEAGUE championship to his trophy cabinet. What's another turnover? And now here comes Johnson. All the way goes in and made that consecutive layups for Nagasaki VELCA. Well, great work by Stanley Johnson. Now officially becoming the first player in double figures tonight. But Chiba Jets responding with a big dunk from Nasir. This man is not so little now. Well, this is a playoff atmosphere. The vibes, the buzz. Many neutral fans would like to see this go down to a 3-game effort. It's a best of 3. Johnson with a bit of a hard push. That takes a deflection. That's going to remain Nagasaki ball on the baseline. Well, the issue right now, not only has it been turnovers, I mean, both teams only combined a total of 9 turnovers, 4 of them made by Nagasaki VELCA. But it's been the conversion rate. Chiba Jets have already converted 6 points from those 4 turnovers. Garrison Brooks back in the lineup here for the Chiba Jets. 6:20 left here in the second quarter. Brantley goes baseline. Goes up with it. That's good defense from Shutahara. Kosahara is like one of the strongest backcourt players here in the B-League, so he's got no problem matching up with anybody defensively in the post. DJ Ho tries to force his way in. Counted. He'll go to the free throw line. Well, he is probably one of the best power forwards. Anytime the clock is winding down, you put the ball in his hands because he will get to the bucket, but he also has a very incredible three-point threat. Little bump. Change of step and a reverse layup. Of course, DJ Hogue, another one of those players that prior to coming to the B-League, Spent 2 seasons in the Australian NBL after leaving France where he played for Cholet. Was an NBA G League champion with the Lakeland Magic back in 2021. This gives Chiba Jets their first 2-possession lead of the evening. This is quite a big play. He stands at 6'9". That's 207 centimeters. Former Texas A&M player. There's that Spanish pick and roll again being set by Nagasaki. Johnson still has it. Finds Kokumagaye. Tries to take on Garrison Brooks. Good defense by the big man. Watanabe. Trying to lead in transition, but they'll go back to DJ Hogue. Hogue goes to his left. Inside the paint. Can't finish. Offensive rebound here for the Jets. Jets again a bit of time, but Hogue will go for a quick 3 and he'll bury this one as Chiba now spring to a 7-point lead. It's been a long time since they lifted the B-League title at the Yokohama Arena. Like I said, they've got expectations. Caught into trouble. That's going to be another, make that the 5th turnover here for Nagasaki VELCA. Jets have numbers, but good recovery by Udai Baba. Unfortunately, it goes out of bounds. Chiba Jets will get it back in their case, so good for them. Well, it looks like another timeout's going to be called. 4:59 left here in the second quarter. Game 1 of the semifinals here in the B-League. We'll be back in just under 1 minute. Well, it's going to be a baseline possession to the Chiba Jets. We're live here at the Nagasaki VELCA Arena. Watanabe will inbound this. Jets have got to find some rhythm. Trying to build on this 7-point momentum. Masid Little goes down the middle. Kicks this one out. Good penetration in the end. And a tough finish inside the lane. Oren Kanichka now with his 2nd field goal tonight. 2nd leading scorer in Game 3 against Kuma Crane Thunders. Well, it's going to be a 3rd team foul against Chiba Jets and the 2nd personal against Kanichka. Well, Kanichka, it's quite an unnecessary foul if you ask me. Because he's off to a good start. They're going to need some momentum from him. Lee Hyun-jung, pump fakes, has time, space, 3 is up, and goes in and out. 2nd attempt for the 3-point line tonight. Watanabe gets fouled. Now, does it count? No, foul is on the ground. And it's on Udai Baba. That's his 2nd personal. That's a right call because clearly Watanabe wasn't in his gather step already. But a 2nd personal foul against Baba Boom. Sideline possession coming up to Chiba. Lee Hyun-jun just doing his defensive duties on the sideline. That's something I've always admired about the Korean national team players. Everything predicates from defense. Also, most Korean international players, I love how they use the backboard for free throws. Nice curl screen action as Watanabe makes it an 11-point lead to the Chiba Jets. Second player in double figures. Watanabe now the game's leading scorer with 11 points. Lee Hyun-jun just chased. Now another backdoor, but the pass too much. Saves this one. Baba Boom in the corner. Mitchell inside the paint, goes up with it. He gets fouled now. He'll go to the free throw line. And if that's on Kanichka, or is it on the Sid Little? It's on Kanichka. 3 fouls already against Ren Kanichka. That's a switch. Chiba just couldn't afford it. And Kanichka had hands up right there. Why? You've already got 2 fouls. So Gleason's got to make a change. Kanichka's got to go to the bench. And almost certain we won't see him come back in his Hayato Yamaguchi back in the lineup here for Nagasaki VELCA. He's had quite an impressive career, Akko Mitchell. And he fits the mode very well as a B.LEAGUE import. Because veteran player now, 33 years young. Went undrafted, but started in the G League with Rio Grande Valley Vipers. First taste of international basketball came in France when he played for Antibes. He's also played in the Chinese Basketball Association as well as the PBA in the Philippines. 9-point lead here to the Jets. Nagasaki's got 2 fouls to give. Oh, good defense. Forcing a turnover. Nagasaki trying to build some momentum in these final 3:32. You want to find Lee Hyun-jun. Johnson just weighs up his options, but time is winding down. Johnson's got to pull up for a deep 3. It's up. Yamaguchi unable to get the offensive rebound, but Togashi gets it into his hands. Togashi goes to his left, now his right. Throws up the lob, but that's very well defended by Akko Mitchell. Remember, he has 2 fouls as well. Oh, it's good defense. But can Nagasaki convert? This both teams is going through a bit of a barren spell here in the last few moments. Yamaguchi will fire a 3. And the 3's not dropping tonight here for the VELCA. The team that shot 34% from the three-point line this season is now Watanabe builds it, and he buries this one. Biggest lead of the game for the Chiba Jets. Another timeout called by Nagasaki VELCA. We'll be back in just under 1 minute. B.LEAGUE semifinals game 1 between the VELCA and the Jets. Well, you look at the stats right there. Both teams attempted 9 3-point field goals. Well, 11 actually in the case of Nagasaki VELCA. 10 actually, my apologies, I had that incorrect. But Chiba Jets already 50% from downtown. That's been the underlying difference in this game. Nagasaki want to get this to single digits going into the halftime break. Johnson's still their leading scorer at the moment. Johnson, nice dime, finds Matsumoto. Beautiful pass. Well, that's what I like to call a sublime primetime dime by Stanley Johnson. Just great effort and movement by Matsumoto. Over 2 minutes left here in the first half. Togashi finds space for a three. It's up. Lee Hyun-chun coming up with a rebound. Plenty of time here for Nagasaki to chip into the deficit, but they've got to rely on both ends of the floor. Johnson back out to Baba. Nice little pump fake in the lane, goes up, through the contact, and again, Stanley Johnson. Anytime he gets into the paint off of penetration, there's no stopping him. Well, he's settled for a lot of three-pointers so far here in the first half, but he has been unstoppable whenever he gets the ball inside the paints. 12 points this evening for Stanley Johnson. He's 0 for 4 from the three-point line, but his bread and butter is attacking the rim. Look at the dime there by Johnson, finding Matsumoto. Timeout called by the Jets. We'll be back in just under 1 minute. Well, Fumio Nishimura, one of the legends of Japanese basketball, 39 years young, and this will be his final season in the B-League. So Chiba Jets fans will be hoping this won't be their last series of the playoffs. Welcome back, live here in Nagasaki. Semifinals game 1 between the Chiba Jets and the host Nagasaki VELCA. Nagasaki having the home court advantage due to having the best record in the B-League this season. Watanabe goes to his left. Well, again, it's good defense. And now here comes Yuta Baba. Baba goes in, a lot of well, no foul given. And Nagasaki's bench infuriated. Head coach Maor. Well, we'd have to see the replay. It looked like a tough call, or a tough no call. Let's have a look here. Well, I'd say that's a good no call. From that angle, at least. Unless, was there contact from the left arm? Which we can only see from a different angle. But from that angle, that looked like good defense. So head coach's challenge has been called. Players will go to the benches. It's a 50-50. It can go either way, but I don't think there's any active violence there whatsoever. Well, we're going to find out what the officials are making this very soon. We'll be back when they make a decision. I think the head coach's challenge was cool because possibly the initial decision was that he was going back to Chiba Jets. Can't quite remember, but head coach Maoda is still arguing that there should have been a foul call there, but from the replay, well, I'd have to differ on that opinion. See some of the leaders at the moment here for both teams. DJ Hogue currently with 13 points. And a rejection time. Well, not DJ Hogue's first block of the game. It's the second one. Well, Matsumoto again. He does such a great job of just flashing into open areas. Especially being a backcourt player. I mean, that's very impressive. A lot of contact, but beats the buzzer. Stanley Johnson now up to 14 points. There's now under a minute to go here in the first half. 6-point ball game. Watanabe in the lane, little teardrop, and gets it to go. Smooth play by Watanabe as Baba Boom goes in and finishes under intense pressure. Well, Baba Boom lands awkwardly. Well, Watanabe not happy with Matsumoto. Yudai Baba Boom may have injured himself. Now, what transpired afterwards? Matsumoto aggressively defending Yuta Watanabe in transition. That's where things kicked off a little bit. Now, the officials may have to take action here, I believe. Well, there was the layup, and that looks painful. I mean, landing didn't look good. But Coach Mao has been given a technical foul. Emotions are flying high at the moment in this game. Well, the good news, Yudai Baba is on the floor. Or he's up off the ground, excuse me. So Yuki Togashi looks like he's going to shoot the technical free throw. Togashi's been, not only for the Chiba Jets, one of the most outstanding ambassadors of Japanese basketball. Well, the technical foul was called against Mori Maora. So Ko Kumagaye back in the lineup here for Nagasaki VELCA. 7-point lead to the Jets. 36.5 seconds remaining. Of course, that cancels out any 2-for-1 due to the free throw made from the technical, but Nagasaki do have one foul to give. Togashi forcing a switch. DJ Ho, pump fakes. Togashi goes off the dribble, deep three, and buries this one. The Japanese $1 million man, Yuki Togashi, puts it back to a 10-point lead. Final play coming up for Nagasaki. Johnson's been leading them so far here in the first half. Jets have no fouls to give. Johnson out of control. Are you kidding me? Somehow, someway, Stanley Johnson. How on earth did he make that layup? Stanley Johnson now up to 16 points. 8 out of 13 from the field this evening. 8 out of 9 from inside the rainbow. Well, fans, let's take a look at the three-pointer from Yuki Togashi. That put it to a 10-point lead. But how did he make this one? Stanley Johnson off balance. That's almost a prayer of a shot. Well, we'll be back for the second half in just under 20 minutes. We're live here in the city of Nagasaki. Game 1 of the B.LEAGUE semifinals 2026. We'll be back very soon.
席をお立ちの際は十分にお気をつけください。それでは場内カウンテいたします。Please enjoy VELCA's special performance.
いつか見ていた映画の中みたい工事中の駅前空へ背伸びしていくビルディングビルが鳴らすリズムと命の音が揃う私はまだ未完成で完全起死回生のハウト知ってる今が一番いいのだろうかわからってひょっとしてないことしたいの予定にないことだろうかわかしてもう物足りないもう引き合えない伏線と走りたい今が一番いいのだろうかわからってひょっとしてないことしたいのよっちゃなんですだろうかわからってこのままどこまでいけるのどうもないままでほかろかしてもう物足りないもう引き合えない伏線と走りたい
Thank you, VELCA!
ここで2025-26シーズン長崎ベルカと共に戦うパートナーのご紹介です。プラチナパートナー株式会社谷川建設、足立株式会社、株式会社再開建設、株式会社司コーポレーション、警備の成功、アミプラザ長崎、ジブラルタ生命、ストローカル、福徳不動産、株式会社タイニーハートフィールド、株式会社メモリード、長崎バスグループ、NIB 長崎国際テレビ、重工記念長崎病院、ゴーホールディングスグループ、MHI マリテック株式会社、文明堂総合店、大新技研株式会社、長崎豊か、ソシオフューチャー株式会社、サントリー株式会社、扶桑工業株式会社、医療法人さわやか秀田整形外科クリニック、ダスキンオークス、中野鉄工株式会社、再開採石株式会社、馬場グループ、先長グループ、ボートレース大村、ファクトリー、戸田建設、株式会社ラックランド、株式会社池田工業、株式会社武田商事、三菱重工マリンマシナリ、杉長かまぼこ、その他にも多くのパートナーの皆様にご支援いただいております。以上、2025-26シーズン長崎ベルカパートナーのご紹介でした。
誰もが希望を持って踏み出せる、そんな明日を叶えるリソナグループ。心たぎる瞬間とともに夢やエナジーを生み出す B リーグ。2つの思いが共鳴し、あらゆる人の未来にかつてない熱狂をプラスする。ジョイン・ザ・ホープリソナ
介いたします。 B リーグトップパートナーソフトバンク、 B リーグタイトルパートナーレソナグループ、 B リーグイノベーションパートナーインフロミアホールディングス、 B リーグパートナーズ日本生命、 TIS、 ビライブ、 B リーグサポーティングカンパニーズモルテン、朝日新聞、日本経済新聞社、大塚製薬、野村工芸社、 BY ジャパン、エニタイムフィットネス、ストライク、スポーツネコ、ロックアイス、ふるさとチョイス、ドイツ、日清食品、 DNA、 B リーグサプライヤー &ST ホールディングス、 B リーグコミュニケーションパートナー LINE ヤフー、 B リーグスポーツ振興&ロテリーサポーティングパートナースポーツくじウィナー、 B リーググロースパートナー電通。以上 B リーグのパートナー各社のご紹介でした。
ここからは B タイムズワバーズ第2弾 B タイムズ MC の皆さんお願いします。
皆さんこんばんは。いや前半非常に手に汗握る展開でしたね。いやただベルカファンとしてはですねちょっと悔しい展開かもしれないんですけれども、今シーズンこの展開から何度も何度も逆転してますので、ファンの声援で後半絶対に逆転しましょう。はい、みゆさんどうでしたか、前半ご覧になられて。
そうですね、前回のコーナー前だったら本当に皆さんファンの声援がレベルアップしたように、本当にすごい聞こえ方ですよね。いやもう本当に私もどんどんもっと声出したくなっちゃって楽しくなってきました。どんどんね盛り上げていきましょうね。
はい、行きましょう。さあ前半のハイライトご覧ください。
B タイムズ MC の皆さん Thank you!
Welcome back, fans. We're live here in Nagasaki for this game 1 of the B-League semifinals between Nagasaki VELCA, who trail by 8 points against the Chiba Jets. Nagasaki's issue has been the three-point shooting. As you can see, only 2 out of 11 from the three-point line. The Jets, very impressive, 50%, 6 out of 12. Chiba Jets currently with 2 players in double figures. DJ Hoga's 13, but Yuta Watanabe leading them currently. Well, he's only missed 1 shot tonight. He's 6 out of 7 from the field, 2 out of 2 from the three-point line. Garrison Brooks leading the Jets in rebounding at the moment, and is actually the leading rebounder in the game. Well, Yudai Baba currently leading everybody in assists at the moment. He has 4 assists, but the problem right now here, as we mentioned, Nagasaki, they've got to improve that three-point percentage if they're going to try to win this game. Well, Chiba Jets definitely much hungrier in this game. 14 second chance points, a total of 8 offensive rebounds. Nagasaki with only 5 at the moment. Both teams 10 points from turnovers and 26 points in the paint for Nagasaki VELCA, while 24 for the Chiba Jets. What's a best of 3 series? The winner of this game will, or this series, excuse me, will go to the Yokohama Arena to face either Nagoya Diamond Dolphins or Ryukyu Golden Kings. Golden Kings having a slender lead at halftime at the Okinawa Arena. And Golden Kings, well, if they do win that series, they'll have made it to 5 consecutive B-League championships. Only won once out of 4 so far, and that was against Chiba back in 2023. Or 22, I should say, excuse me. My history and maths are way off today. I apologize, fans. Players look out for tonight. The game's leading scorer, joint leading scorer with Yuta Watanabe, Stanley Johnson. He's only missed 1 field goal from inside the rainbow. He's 0 for 4 from the three-point line. Well, quite a good stop, and that's in Little with 8 points. 1 field goal away from being the 3rd Chiba Jets player in double figures. Jets coming out with Shuta Hata, Yuta Watanabe, very much the same starting lineup. Stanley Johnson, of course, one of the few changes. He'll be joining Jarrell Brantley in the starting 5 here in the second half. Welcome back. Second half underway. Nagasaki, the best record in the B-League this season, 47 wins. Jets have the experience. Nagasaki have the home court advantage. Another backdoor play on the screen. Baba comes up with it. Well, he hasn't made a 3 tonight. Still can't make one, but a foul is going to be called. That's going to be called against Garrison Brooks. A legal block out there on the box out, excuse me. Well, noticing that we have some Vietnamese viewers on the live YouTube chat. So, Xin Chao, Nhung Ban, tôi không nói tiếng Việt. Lee Hyun Jung, only 4 points this evening. Chiba's defending him very well, and that's going to be an illegal screen. Jarrell Brantley will be penalized with this one. And that's his 3rd personal foul. Remember, Akil Mitchell also has 2 fouls, but he's not in the starting lineup. It's a small ball lineup here for VELCA in the second half. Jets want to make it a double-digit lead again. Hata playing primary point guard at the moment for Chiba. Watanabe weighs up his options, but now goes back to Hata. Time is winding down again here on the shot clock. It's good defense by Yamaguchi. Nice play by DJ Ho, but misses the layup. Oh, good defense from VELCA, but that's going to remain Jets ball on the baseline. Well, those are the plays they've got to come up with. Watanabe inbounding this one for the Jets. Trying to find some fluidity, some identity here in their offense. Final seconds winding down. Brooks has got to go for it. That 3's way off the mark. Bradley comes up with it. Can VELCA get the first points of the second half? Baba going off a curl screen. Penetrates. Finds Yamaguchi. Contested 3 in the corner. Now make it 2 out of 12 from the three-point line. Three-point shooting has been poor tonight from the B-League's best team as Watanabe just gets his way to the bucket. 18 points tonight for Japan's #1 small forward. I don't want to say #1 player because that accolade will obviously go to Rui Hachimura. Little pick and pop. Johnson fires the three. 2 out of 13. Well, again, misses from point blank range. And goes over the back. Well, that is an out of bounds violation, but that is a Sugoi moment. Even though it went out of bounds, I'm still impressed it went in the bucket. Well, here's the three-pointer. Here's the steal. Brantley missed. Well, Stanley Johnson. Oh, Majide. Sugoi. But it doesn't count. Michael Mitchell subbing into the game for the first time here in the second half just to give VELCA a bit of size inside the paint. Hada weighs up. Naoki Tashido had to leave the game when he picked up a second foul in the first quarter. Good defense by Baba. And that's going back to the VELCA. Watanabe felt he got fouled. Nothing given. But that is trademark Yudai Baba Boom defense. Well, definitely a reach, and I can understand the frustration from Yuta Watanabe. Baba goes to his left. Second team foul called against the Jets here in the third quarter. It's on Shuta Hada. One way Nagasaki can try to chip into the deficit. Get into the penalty early. Get to the free throw line. Oyasas Tikanes, feel a move from Greece. Check into the game, Tikanes. Another turnover here from VELCA. Hada stumbling with it, but keeps us alive. Well, good hands by Mitchell. Johnson, while Brantley comes up. Well, Mitchell keeps it alive and again misses. But the tip in finally good from Lee Hyun-jung. Gamsam Hamnida, 7 points. His second field goal tonight. Because he got fouled on a three-pointer in the first quarter, made all 3 free throws. The atmosphere is simply electrifying tonight here in Nagasaki. Tashido goes in with the left, misses everything. Can Nagasaki go for a run? A foul is going to be called. It's the third team foul against the Jets, so they only have 1 to give with 6:57. Well, Lee Hyun-jung from the corner misses yet again, but the tip-in is good. Well, that's a third three-point attempt from Lee Hyun-jung, but 18 points altogether now for Jarrell Brantley. Well, Stanley Johnson, my apologies. Johnson now with 18. Watanabe finds a bit of separation. 3 is up. No good. Jets can't come up with the offensive rebound. And here come the VELCA. Lee Hyun-jung bumps. He gets fouled. He'll go back to the free throw line. But that's much better, more aggressive offense coming from the defensive rebound. And anytime VELCA get a chance to push in transition, this is where they can be dangerous. Remember, #1 record this season in the B-League with 47 wins. That's going to be a third foul against Naoki Tashido. I don't think he can have too much arguments there. I mean, that's a good call. Yamaguchi checking back into the third quarter with 6:28 left. Well, he's going to have a very big end of June, July, when he plays for the Korean national team in the third window of the FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. Because they'll be hosting big game against Chinese Taipei. Could decide who becomes the third place team along with Japan and China. Well, I say that actually, they did beat China in the first window. They clean swept them in China. VELCA switching everything. Lee Hyun-jung matched up against Togashi. Hana penetrates. Stumbles into traffic. Offensive rebound by Brooks, but turns it over. Now here come the VELCA. Can they cut it down to one possession? Bradley bumps, goes in, and now it's a 2-point deficit. And Chiba Jets have to call timeout. 20 points from Stanley Johnson. And just listen to the atmosphere tonight here in Nagasaki. The new team on the block, the #1 team in the B-League, flying on a wave of momentum. Well, he may be 0 for 5 from the three-point line, but there's one thing that's undeniable. No guarding him when he gets to the rack. We'll be back from this timeout in under 1 minute. Well, just looking at the live YouTube chat, we have fans all over the world watching this game. Please let us know in the live YouTube comment bank which team you're supporting, your name, and where you're watching. And to Sin6773, I apologize for that. I made that mistake a few times. Stanley Johnson, 20 points this evening. Please feel free to criticize me, bash me anytime I make a mistake. Nasir Little back in the lineup now here for the Jets. That's going to be a foul against Stanley Johnson. That's his third personal foul. That's a problem now here for Nagasaki because second key player now with 3 fouls. For Stanley Johnson, what a career he's had. Drafted by the Detroit Pistons in 2015 in the first round with the 8th pick. And again, great defense by the VELCA. He cannot afford to pick up a 4th now. That's going to be a problem here for the VELCA. But identifying and realizing the importance of him offensively. Little goes at Johnson. Time winded down. And did he get it off in time? I think it's a 24-second violation. Yeah. Chiba Jets coming out of this halftime break almost like they're scared at the moment. When we compare these two teams, the experience is on their side. Nagasaki VELCA can tie it up. Here's Baba Boom, throws it. Oh my goodness! Ackle Mitchell just raised the pressure here in Nagasaki with a two-handed rim rocker. Well, you knew it was coming. But now Togashi made his last 3, goes to another one. Nagasaki can't take the lead. And you know, the electricity is going to rise a decibel if they take this one. Lee Hyun-jung, that's going to be the final foul against Chiba Jets. No more to give with 4:54. That's only his first personal foul. Well, they've called it a shooting foul. Well, Lee Hyun-jung back at the free throw line. Because he went to the same university in the NCAA as Stephen Curry at Davidson. He's got such... If you go back to his early years as a youngster, remember, he won the FIBA Asia Cup U16 championship in Indonesia. If you look at his shooting form then, he has got probably the most beautiful shooting technique or of any international player, I'd say. Because his mother is one of the greatest ever Korean basketball players of all time. Played in many Olympics for the Korean national team. VELCA have taken the lead. Jets. Red Konishka will go for a quick 3. And I think that's a bit of a rushed offense. Jets pushing the panic button way too early. Baba goes in the lane, finds Akko Mitchell. That's going to be a traveling violation. Good call by the official. Just when Nagasaki VELCA was going to build more momentum. Under 4.5 to go here in the third quarter. Watanabe, their leading scorer. That's going to be way too short. It may have turned on the air conditioning. VELCA, sensing they've got the game in their hands. Backdoor by Lee Hyun-jung. Good hands, but misses from point-blank range. Comes up with his own rebound. And that is suffocating defense. Coming from Ren Kanichka, the man who helped them win Game 3 against Guma Crane Thunders. Oh, that's a great backdoor. That's championship DNA defense. Good hands by Kanichka. .404 left here in the third quarter. Jets can still tie this game up. Maybe take a 1-point lead. Remember, they were 50% from the three-point line at the end of the first half. That's what put them ahead. That's it, Little. Can't touch anything. Mitchell comes up with a rebound. Kokumagai. Great take by Johnson in the lane, but again the defense from the Jets. Jets have numbers. It's DJ Hogue tries to force his way in. Counted, and he'll go to the free throw line. Well, that's what Jets needed, something. Because they forced a turnover. They came up with a great block, but how quickly they got numbers ahead. And DJ Hogue, tough finish. .15 points this evening for DJ Hogue. .16 points per game, a 78% free throw shooter this season from the free throw line. Second season now with the Chiba Jets. Oh, I missed it. Nothing separating VELCA and the Jets here in game 1. Still plenty of basketball to play here in the second half. Well, that's going to be another illegal screen. And that's foul number 3 against Akko Mitchell. So now becomes the third key player for Nagasaki VELCA to pick up 3 fouls. Of course, the other two being, well, Red Kanichka's got 3 fouls for the Chiba Jets. Stanley Johnson has 3 fouls. So does Jarrell Bradley. Johnson's got to play with discipline now. He cannot afford to pick up a 4th one. That's a traveling violation. Oh, Chiba Jets. You almost feel like they're just choking under pressure they brought on themselves. This team had an 8-point lead at the beginning of the second half. Which team's going to go into the fourth quarter with the momentum? Or will we be all tied up again? Johnson wants to ISO. Well, that's going to remain VELCA ball. Chiba Jets players protesting defiantly that should go in their favor. 12 here on the shot clock for the VELCA. Kumagai will inbound this one. Plenty of time here for Nagasaki. They want to go to Lee Hyun-jung. Quick catch and shoot 3 is up. And 감사합니다. Manaso Pangapsimnida. Coming from Lee Hyun-jung. 14 points for the Korean international. Probably the biggest name of Korean basketball since Hasan Jing. Maybe Kim Jong-kyu as well. But Togashi trying to go for a quick one. VELCA saves it from going out of bounds. And Nagasaki, can they build a 2-possession lead? Lee Hyun-jung thought about it. Goes to Kokumagai. Another 3 in the corner. It's way off the mark. Well, they'll try again one more time. And only 3 3-pointers converted this evening from Nagasaki. Nasir Little. And just bullies his way to the buckets. Nagasaki wastes no time getting it in bounds. Nasir Little now with 10 points. 4th player for Chiba Jets in double figures. Lee Hyun-jung Nice pass down the lane. Mitchell finishes inside the paint. Simple basketball being exhibited. Well, Sin 6773. Thank you very much as the Chiba Jets responded. 5 points now for Naoki Tashiro. Lee Hyun-jung curls a screen, but he doesn't get the and one. That's going to be a fourth foul against Tashiro. Well, Naoki Tashiro picking up 2 fouls here in the third quarter. So surely Trevor Gleason is going to have to sub him out of the game. But look at the IQ, the intelligence of Lee Hyun-jung. I mean, Naoki Tashiro's defensive positioning on that play just completely fell asleep. As now, number 7, Jarrell Brantley, subs back into the game. Also, Matsumoto, who's had a very productive first half, he's back in the lineup. Yuta Watanabe quickly checking back into the game. Remember, this man has only missed 30 free throws this season in the B-League. Coming into this game, he's made 155 free throws out of 185. It's the number 1 three-point shooter this season in the B-League, Lee Hyun-jung. The B-League three-point king. 48% three-point shooter. Because he's made 192 three-pointers. That's how good he is. 17 points per game along with just under 6 rebounds. Korea's number 1, Ganchana. Still a 2-point lead here to Nagasaki VELCA. Togashi goes quickly, but he's unable to get the and one. So Togashi now will go to the free throw line, and that's going to be foul number 4 against Jarrell Brantley. Oh no, it's on Yudai Baba. That's the right call there because, well, it's the correct call, but I'm not quite sure a Yudai Baba matchup full court against Sugi Togashi is what coach Mori Mao wants. 1:27 left here in the third quarter. Togashi can't level things up. $60 apiece now. They'll still have a whole fourth quarter to go, but the one trouble here for Nagasaki, key players have 3 fouls each. It looks like Chiba may have gone into his own defense maybe. High 3-2 zone with Nasir Little at the top. Well, Matsumoto, not for the first time or second time, his third field goal inside the paint. Now we're under a minute. Could it be a 3 for 2 for Nagasaki? The Cat and Chiba Jets keep scoring. Togashi trying to find DJ Hogue. Nagasaki again switching. Baba goes in, gets rejected. And Yudai Baba Boom said sayonara. Well, Baba Boom just told the $1 million player goodbye. Not welcome here in Nagasaki. Watashi no Tomodachi. 5 seconds remain on the shot clock here for the Chiba Jets. They try to find the lob and missed in the end by DJ Hogue. Nagasaki won a 2-possession lead. Stanley Johnson hasn't made a 3 tonight. Thought about it. They could have gone for that one. Another 2-for-1 scenario. Brantley finds Kumagayev. Make that the 4th 3 of the game for the B-League's number 1 team. And the first field goal tonight for Ko Kumagayev. Shot clock has been turned off. Jets can have the final play. Remember, they led by 8 points at the beginning of the second half. Now they trail by 5. Nasir Little. Nagasaki switch. Baba's got 3 fouls. Oh, backdoor play. Oh, they fumble it. Kanichka turned it over. And what a disastrous third quarter for the Chiba Jets. A team who haven't been back to the B-League Finals since 2023. Well, Is there still a bit of time left on the clock? I'm not quite sure. I think that, no, 1.2 remain here for Nagasaki VELCA. Not a lot of time to do anything. They're going to have to try to force this one. Chiba don't want to foul, though. Any foul will send the VELCA to the free throw line. Kokumagai will inbound it. Well, Lee Hyun-jung goes the length of the floor. It's up. Whoa. Nearly got it. That was a Neidomon Lee Hyun-jung, not a Nongo Sonsu moment. Wow. Fans, that is the end of the third quarter. Nagasaki lead by 5 as we head into the final 10. Game 1 of the B.LEAGUE Conference Finals. Well, semifinals, I should actually say, as we head to the finals after this. We'll be back in just under 2 minutes. Welcome back, fans. Fourth and final quarter live here in the city of Nagasaki. B.LEAGUE semifinals, game 1. Nagasaki VELCA trail by 8 points. Well, good defense by Stanley Johnson. Lee Hyun-jung tries to save it. What hustle there from the Korean international. Sileh합니다, as he tells the fans. 죄송합니다. I'm sorry for going into them. That's going to remain possession to the Chiba Jets. Seven seconds remain on the shot clock here for Chiba Jets. They got to get it inbound. Togashi goes for a quick 3. Got to make this one. And it just won't go. Have Chiba completely cooled down. Still only a 5-point ball game. Well, that's going to be a turnover. Good defense by Yuki Togashi, excuse me. Well, another missed attempt here for the Chiba Jets. And now here comes Nagasaki. While missing transition, but Kokumagai misses. 2 consecutive offensive rebounds. That's going to be a foul on the ground. I think Chiba's arguing the case that maybe there was a foul down the other end that would miss. Well, Sin 6773. Commentator just giving it his all speaking Korean. Oh, come on, bro. Don't hate. Don't hate, brother. Minute played here. Lee Hyun-jung. No backcourt violation given. But here comes Lee Hyun-jung. Kicks out. Wide open 3. Still three-pointless. Big rebound by Nasir Little. Chiba nearly had numbers. Wow. Probably the wrong time to go for an alley-oop. Very well defended in transition by the VELCA. Jets get it back. Plenty of time here. Little tries to go for a step back contested three, and that's just way off the mark. Jets lacking everything in their offense. Another turnover here. That's 2 consecutive offenses where Nagasaki could have built on the lead, but this game is far from over. Chiba Jets haven't been to a B-League final since 2023 after losing to the Ryukyu Golden Kings. GJ Hogue gets his pocket picked. Another turnover. Kokumagai dives on the floor. And that's a traveling violation. So 3 consecutive turnovers from the VELCA. Wow, big moment now. Neither team really getting a grasp here in the first just under 2 minutes here. Moody Mauer trying to get the home crowd into the game. A best of 3 here in the semifinals. The winner will go to the Yokohama Arena for the finals. And they'll either meet Nagoya Diamond Dolphins or the Ryukyu Golden Kings. Golden Kings looking to make history and become a team to make it to 5 consecutive B-League finals. They're currently winning by 15 points, and the Jets just cannot buy a bucket. Stanley Johnson goes the length of the floor. So no foul given, another block. And Stanley Johnson trying to plead his case. Let's have a look at the replay. And there's the missed layup attempt by Shutahara. Johnson went. We're not going to see the replay that long. Lee Hyun Jung made his last 3. Not going to get this one. Hot screen set by DJ Hogue. He's left wide open. 3 is up. And Jets, after shooting 50% from the three-point line, finding Jarrell Brantley. Brantley now extended to a 7-point lead. And Trevor Gleason's going to call timeout. Nagasaki VELCA, 47 wins this season in the B-League. Well, Brantley's got to calm down. He's got to calm down. He's going to go to the bench for this timeout. Don't want to pick up a technical because that would be his 4th personal foul. I don't know what his argument or case is here, but, well, we'll be back for this timeout in just under 1 minute. Welcome back, live here in Nagasaki. 4th quarter, almost 2.5 played. Nagasaki VELCA leading by 7. Chiba's got to find something here in their offense. See, the confidence really has been taken away from this team, but Watanabe inside the key, a lot of contact, counted, and he'll go to the free throw line. Well, he has had a quiet second half, considering how lethal he was in the first half. He now has 20 points. Along with 4 rebounds. Watanabe only went to the free throw line once in the first quarter, but he hasn't missed one this evening. That's a fourth foul against Yudai Baba. Well, I've just seen a question on the live YouTube chat talking about from Money Time I8N. I really don't understand how number 2 is the $1 million man. Well, he's the first ever Japanese professional basketball player to sign a $1 million contract when he signed with the Chiba Jets. That's Yuki Togashi. Yuki Togashi, born and raised in Niigata in the north of Japan. Because he played high school basketball in the United States in Washington, D.C. Didn't get an NCAA Division I scholarship, but signed originally with the Akita Northern Happy Nets before the immersion of the B-League. But he signed with Chiba back in 2015, and that was the first time in history a Japanese player signed a $1 million basketball contract. Pick and pop in the corner. Johnson way off the mark. Chiba can make it a one-possession ball game. And if that's on... Well, if that's on Yudai... Oh, it's on Yamaguchi, excuse me. That's only his second personal foul. Michael Mitchell back in the lineup here for Nagasaki. Almost 3 minutes played here in the fourth. Nagasaki have 2 fouls to give. Trying to hang on to this 4-point lead. Well, Hada just being pressurized here and not naturally a primary point guard and quite a costly error. Nagasaki had a man up, but patiently want to build something. There's the baseline penetration by Bradley. Gets caught a double team under intense pressure and finishes through the physicality as now he has 11 points. Watanabe in the lane, goes up, gets denied by Lee Hyun-jung. Wow, Lee Hyun-jung. That's not 감사합니다. That is simply goodbye. Because he is the most exciting Korean prospect since Hassan Jing. The first Korean player to play in the NBA who did play very briefly with the Portland Trail Blazers back in 2004-05. Because if you love your Korean basketball, KCC Isis currently winning the Korean Basketball League Championship. That's also a former team of Hassan Jing. And there is the $1 million man. That question I told you, first player to sign a $1 million contract in Japanese basketball. Watanabe, quick catch and shoot, gets fouled. And that's a poor foul to give away by Hayato Yamaguchi. 3 free throws coming up here for Watanabe. Well, Watanabe, 21 points this evening. 3 out of 3 from the free throw line. He's going to have 3 here to try to cut this down to a single possession ball game. Because almost devastating. Last season, his return to Japan, his first season in the B-League after leaving the NBA. Injured while taking a three-pointer in the corner that was contested by Makoto Hiyajima when they beat the Utsunomiya Breaks twice. He had a great year last season, but injuries really did hurt him a lot. Solid performance tonight from Watanabe. Well, Sin 6773, nobody touch Yuta. I guess you should be a referee, bro. I'll support you. Almost 4 minutes played here in the fourth quarter. Bradley, little pick and pop here with Kumagaye. Little bump by Togashi. That's way off the mark. Chiba can cut it down to 1. Maybe tied up with a three-pointer. Watanabe. Well, good defense. Falling into the hands of Nasir Little. And now here comes DJ Hogue. Hogue goes in. What a rejection. But comes up with it. And that's going to be an and 1. Well, Garrison Brooks, excuse me. Brooks, what a time to get a big field goal here in the second half. And that's a fourth foul against Ackle Mitchell. Well, there was the good defense. That's not by Jarrell Bradley, but Brooks not giving up on it. Big moment now for Garrison Brooks. He can level things up. Well, Garrison Brooks started at the University of North Carolina. Former Tar Heel, finished at Mississippi State in 2022. Actually played in the Korean Basketball League with Wonju DB Promi. Spent 2 seasons playing in Lithuania before going back to the NBA G League as he levels things up. Fumio Nishimura, the 39-year young veteran. It's his last season in the B-League. Chiba will be hoping to make it to the Yokohama Arena for the finals, but they're going to have to win 2 against the VELCA here in Nagasaki. A lot of time here in the fourth quarter. Lee Hyun-jung in the corner. Bradley penetrates, goes to his left, and gets denied. Well, Garrison Brooks said, "No, sir, thou shalt not enter the domain." Swiped at it. Nagasaki VELCA's going to call timeout. Well, we'll be back from this timeout in just under 1 minute. Baseline possession of Nagasaki VELCA. We come back. Just 1.3 seconds left on the shot clock. What an atmosphere it's been, because this magnificent arena hosted the 2026 B.LEAGUE All-Star Weekend back in March. But Nagasaki now have 1.3 remaining on the shot clock. Bradley's going to inbound this. Lee Hyun-jung's got to shoot it, puts up a prayer. Oh, baby! Are you kidding me? 안녕하세요, 괜찮아. Lee Hyun-jung. Somebody explain to me how he made that one. Incredible. Nagasaki now with a 3-point lead. Naoki Tashiro. And that's going to be an illegal screen against Garrison Brooks, I think. Yep. Well, Naoki Tashiro had a wide open look. Well, there is the greatest three-point shooter in the B-League this season, Lee Hyun-jung. Now up to 200 made three-pointers this season. I mean, look at this. 만나서 반갑습니다, Lee Hyun-jung. I would say right now, he is the Korean Clay, the greatest three-point shooter in the FIBA Asia zone. Well, he took quite a shot there on the screen on the defense. Well, Lee Hyun-jung again left wide open. That time not going to get it. And a foul's going to be committed by Lee Hyun-jung. That's a poor foul to give because this would just send Chiba Jets straight to the free throw line. Well, a timeout has been called, so we'll be back in just under 1 minute. What a game we have here for the opener of the semifinals of the B.LEAGUE playoffs. Well, fans, 4:50 to go. Please let us know in the live YouTube comment bank where you're watching this game, which team you're supporting, and where in the world you're watching. We have Lazarus Selefterakos from Greece. Yasas, Tikanes, Filomu. Εγώ είμαστε δικεφάλος αέτος στο βόρα. Λατρεύω το ΠΑΟΚ. Well, the first free throw missed by Nasir Little, because he was magnificent in that series against Guma Crane Thunders that got them here to the semifinals against Nagasaki. Can he make it a 2-point deficit? Second one good. Nasir Little now with 11 points this evening. The Chiba Jets missed 6 free throws. It's 13 out of 19. Well, Lee Hyun-jung again going back door. Oh, I missed it! From point-blank range. This gives Chiba a chance to tie things up. Maybe take the lead with a three-pointer. So Gashi goes to his left. Has to kick out. Watanabe goes for a three. And the three's on dropping. That 50% from the first half simply has dwindled down. Nagasaki, that's going to be another illegal screen now. If that's on Jarrell Brandley, is that foul number 5? No, it's number 4. My apologies. So Akko Mitchell, Yudai Baba, and Jarrell Brandley all have 4 fouls. Now both Hayato Yamaguchi and Stanley Johnson have 3 fouls, but if this game goes to overtime, it could be a problem for Nagasaki. Nearly turning it over. Good hands by Jarrell Brandley. Togashi. Problem right now for Chiba. Not a lot of movement away from the ball. Nagasaki's been very aggressive when defending any ball screens. Because what a debut in the B.LEAGUE playoffs it's been so far for Nagasaki VELCA. Oh, they turn it over again. Well, there's a play. What a block coming from Nasir Little. Well, he pinned it so hard off the backboard like a magnet on the refrigerator, but it goes out of bounds. Baba just got boomed. Well, it's a block that prevents it from being a 4-point lead. But Nagasaki get it back with very much a lot of time on the shot clock. Because they want to extend this lead. Johnson up against DJ Hogue. Goes in. Oh, I missed it. Fights for the offensive rebound, but Little comes up with it. So you can feel the heart palpitations from the fans, the coaches, the players. DJ Hogue, little pick and pop. 3 is up. Still no good. Incredible. The 3-point shooting has been poor from the Jets. Only one three-pointer. They are 1 out of 9. Or 1 out of 10, excuse me, after that one. Well, Baba goes in, extends it to a 4-point lead. 9 points to Yudai Baba. Remember, he also has 4 fouls. Jets feel like the confidence has been taken away from them. DJ, defended by Yudai Baba. Baba forces him baseline. Tough kick out. Togashi finds Watanabe, closed out. And that's 11 three-pointers attempted here in the second half. Togashi pump fakes, pulls up from 17. And just able to tuck that one away. They needed that one desperately. 8 points tonight for Togashi. Well, Johnson just stepping out of bounds, and that could have extended it to a 5-point lead. 2:28 left. Every possession is going to be so crucial at the moment for both these two teams. But I think one thing that's undeniable, both teams have committed way too many turnovers. That's the 15th turnover tonight for Nagasaki. But Chiba's committed 18 themselves. Nagasaki don't have any fouls to give. Togashi. Well, again, it's another turnover. Lee Hyun-jung comes up with it. Nice pass, and here we go. And now the foul's going to be called. And that's the final foul against Naoki Tashiro. Well, he's out of it. He's gone. So he's, in fact, the first player to foul out tonight. So Jarrell Brantley will go to the free throw line. Crucial free throws now coming up here for Jarrell Brantley. Drafted by the Indiana Pacers the same season. Stanley Johnson was drafted by the Pistons, but Brantley went in the second round, 50th pick. Only twice played in the NBA with the Utah Jazz, because he joined Nagasaki VELCA in 2023. Second one good. 4-point lead to the VELCA. You have to really worry about Chiba Jets. The offense hasn't looked very fluid. Even now, struggling to get the ball in the hands. Oh, it's going to be another turnover. 16 turnovers. Chiba choking under intense pressure with 158. Feel like a big moment's now coming up for Nagasaki. Three-pointer is going to set this place off. Johnson, defended by DJ Hogue. Goes to the back down. Hogue tries to stand his ground, just slightly reaching. Johnson in the paint. Has to kick out. Lee Hyun-jung, another three. And Gamsam Hamnida. Lee Hyun-jung from downtown. Big-time three. Genchana. Extending it to a 7-point lead for Nagasaki. And Little, way off the mark. Hogue comes up with it. So Gashi out of control. And now the VELCA want to push. Well, there's the bomb. Not getting the M1. Well, it was only a one-possession ball game just a few moments ago until the big three-pointer by Lee Hyun-jung, extending it to a 7-point lead. But now Stanley Johnson, guess he must do yoga. It's quite a... Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 1:18 left, looking to make it a 9-point game. Stanley Johnson along with Lee Hyun-jung quite clearly have been the most productive and best players tonight here for the VELCA. Because he can't become the joint leading scorer. Lee Hyun-jung's got 22 points. He's 2 rebounds away from a double-double. Stanley Johnson makes this free throw. He's got 22 as well. Makes them both. And a timeout called by the Chiba Jets. 1:18 left here in the fourth quarter. Game 1 of the B-League semifinals. We'll be back in just under 1 minute. But you got to think, 1:18 left. It's going to have to be some miracle of a comeback here. I mean, mathematically, it's 3 consecutive 3-pointers, but this team is 1 out of 11 in the second half after shooting 6 out of 12 from the first half. Shutahara will inbound this. Well, Nasir Little's wide open. They got to get it to him. They turn it over. Ko Kumagae forcing the 17th turnover against the Chiba Jets. And they should have got it to Nasir Little a lot earlier. Nagasaki in no mood to rush anything. They'll just wind the clock down. Well, you're going to have to shoot this one. Time is winding down. There is a deep 3. Not going to go. 50 seconds remaining. As DJ Ho gets to the bucket. Nasir Little puts up a prayer of a 3. That's not going to go. Well, that's how it's been. We said the 3-point shooting was the difference at the end of the first half. Quite clearly the difference here in the second half. What a game, a performance from the team with the best record. Well, that's going to be a foul. So free throws coming up here for Jarrell Brantley. Well, Nagasaki 6 out of 27 from the 3-point line this evening. But they haven't missed a free throw. They're 17 out of 17. Terrific game tonight from Jarrell Brantley. 6 rebounds, 3 assists away from a triple-double, along with his 13 points. But I don't think there'll be any point of concern right there for missing that free throw. $18 out of 19 for the VELCA. Now they have the double-digit lead for the first time. Well, Quinton Miliora-Brown's going to come in with Fumio Nishimura, 39 years young. He is retiring after this season. It's been a magnificent career for Fumio Nishimura, but they're going to have to win Game 2 to keep this series alive, to keep his career going for one last dance at the Yokohama Arena. He is one of the legends of Japanese basketball. Chiba now, points difference doesn't make a difference here. It's a best-of-3 series. Chiba know they've got to bounce back in Game 2, which is tomorrow night. Nishimura goes for a one-legged fadeaway. Wow, legend indeed. Legend by name, legend by trade. But Nagasaki VELCA, they will win Game 1. Their first taste of B-League playoffs. 47 wins this season. And now they're one win away from getting to the Yokohama Arena, to the B-League Finals of 2026. What a performance tonight from the B-League's #1 team. They trail by 8 points at the end of the first half, but collectively, with a better 3-point percentage in the second half, 22 points from both Stanley Johnson and Lee Hyun-jung, Korea's #1. They'll win 82-74 against the Chiba Jets. Well, a big-time victory tonight here from Nagasaki VELCA.
投票を開始いたします投票は長崎ベルカ
Well, as it is the end of the game, we're going to get a
本日の合法選手
interview with the head coach, Muri Maor, along with the game's most valuable player, which we're still yet to find out. And then we'll look at the best highlights, and then we'll run down the stats and look forward to the games tomorrow. Because big game tonight at the Okinawa Arena. A huge victory for Ruku Golden Kings. So now one win away from getting to their 5th B-League Finals. But like I said, fans, please stick around because we're going to get some courtside interviews. Any interview that's in Japanese, we will get translated. We'll have an interview with head coach Muri Maor of Nagasaki VELCA. Chiba Jets players, not a lot of time to turn this around. No John Mooney tonight. The only player coming in to the postseason in this series, even though he's not playing, averaging a double-double. But they still have another chance to send this to a 3rd game. Not over yet for the Jets. But they are for sure going to have to improve on a lot of things.
マオルヘッドコーチよろしくお願いいたします
Well, let's listen now to head coach Muri Maor.
We're not celebrating anything today.
まだ今日に関しては完全には喜べないので、まだもう一日あるので。
But the heart that the boys showed today in this first half, really impressive. On to the second half now.
ただ本当に今日前半戦が終わったと思うんですけど、選手たちのハート本当に素晴らしかったと思います。なんで明日また後半戦あるのでよろしくお願いします。
マオルヘッドコーチありがとうございましたそれでは皆様の投票により選ばれました本日の MVP を発表いたします本日の MVP は No.5
Well, here is the game's most valuable player, Lee Hyun-jung. A big performance tonight from the Korean international. An outstanding performance. Finishing with 22 points, 2 rebounds away from a double-double. Only 1 assist, 1 block, and 2 steals. So let's listen now to Lee Hyun-jung. Some Lee Hyun-jung fans in the building.
川端様ありがとうございましたそれではいい選手から一言いただきたいと思います
こんばんは。I just want to say thank you everybody. So, ありがとうございます。
本当に皆さんいつも本当に応援ありがとうございます。
We wouldn't be able to come back without you guys. So please, we'll be back here again tomorrow. So please support us.
本当に今日のこの勝利っていうのは皆さんがいなくては本当に達成できなかったと思うので、本当にまた明日皆さんの応援が必要なので。
Three more games. Let's go.
あと3試合で目標いけるので、しっかりそこあと3試合お願いします。
いい選手ありがとうございましたそれでは MVP を受賞されましたいい選手にはサインボールの投げ込みを行っていただきますお願いしますマイキーパスしてマイキーブロー
Well, there you heard from Lee Hyun-jung as well as Coach Muri Maor. First, Coach Muri Maor said, we are not celebrating anything. They know they still have to get through the Jets. And they may not do it tomorrow. They could do it tomorrow. But also, you heard from Lee Hyun-jung, 3 more games to win, and they could lift the B-League crown. Well, an outstanding performance. We are going to take a look at some of the key highlights from this game. We'll start with that now, but a big-time performance from Nagasaki VELCA, who, remember, they were trailing by 8 points at the beginning of the first half. Well, people talking about the excellent English spoken by Lee Hyun-jung. Now, he was born in Korea. But yes, that's correct. He went to the same university as Stephen Curry, Davidson University. But what an outstanding performance tonight from Lee Hyun-jung. Guess he speaks English excellently, so well spoken. Well, it looked like it was going to be a great game from the Chiba Jets. Experience quite clearly in the first half, proving to be a factor. Well, Stanley Johnson went three-pointless tonight. He was the joint leading scorer. He also had 22 points tonight as well as Lee Hyun-jung, but he was 0 for 8 from the three-point line. He was 10 out of 15 from it inside the rainbow. It was Johnson again, just going straight at the defense inside the paints. And it was the great defense that we saw being demonstrated by the Jets in the first half, forcing a lot of turnovers against the VELCA. That time, for rushing the ball handlers, Lee Hyun-jung. And it was Riku Sagawa finding DJ Hogan transition. I just think the problem was it was two different teams from Chiba. Chiba in the second half looked like they just went stone cold. Like a shock went right through all the players. First off, they were outstanding. That was the putback dump by Nasir Little. Because here was Garrison Brooks that time finding DJ Hogan. You gotta ask the question, a team that shoots 6 out of 12 from the three-point line in the first half and only made one three-pointer in the second half. I mean, where did it all go wrong? Oh, that's incredible. They were 1 out of 13 from the three-point line in the second half, Chiba Jets. Stanley Johnson that time, that was the final bucket of the first half. But the Jets will have another day tomorrow. The task only gets tougher, that's for sure. Because Nagasaki, especially having the home court advantage. These two teams will meet 2 p.m. local time in Japan tomorrow. It's a slightly earlier tip-off than we saw today. So wherever you're watching in the world, it will be live here on B.LEAGUE International, but it will be a 2 p.m. local time tip-off in Japan tomorrow. So put that in the diary because it's going to be an exciting game. Well, lots to think about here for Coach Trevor Gleason. They don't want to go swept in the semifinals for a second season because that was the problem last season. Because the Chiba Jets ended up meeting Utsunomiya Brex, and well, they didn't get swept exactly. But it wasn't quite a very smooth return to the B.LEAGUE Championship, that's for sure. Great take by Jarrell Brantley, but good defense by Garrison Brooks. And here was the worrying thing for Nagasaki VELCA. They had a lot of players in foul trouble. 2 players on 4 fouls. And you had to ask the question, if this game had gone to overtime, that could have been a big issue for Nagasaki, but they pulled through. Lee Hyun-jung making some big plays at the right time, especially towards the long stretch of this game. Well, not many teams get to the B.LEAGUE playoffs in their first season, or their first taste of B.LEAGUE playoffs, and have success. But Lee Hyun-jung, well, he was outstanding tonight. There's no question. He was incredible. Because he was 3 out of 8 from the three-point line, 37%, but he made 50% of all Nagasaki's three-pointers. And as I reiterate, he made them when they counted. Well, there are the stats in the game. Because Nagasaki was 1 3-pointer less, but they hit 4 in the second half. Chiba Jets only 1 out of 13 from the three-point line in the second half, and 5 missed free throws. Nagasaki only missing 1 free throw at the end. That was from Jarrell Brantley, but that time the game was dead and buried. 17 offensive rebounds for Nagasaki VELCA. Because Nagasaki VELCA, 26 points in the turnovers of Chiba Jets, 44 points in the paint, and 11 second chance points. So that's another area for the Chiba Jets. We talk about their poor three-point shooting in the second half, but had they not given up so many offensive rebounds, could have been a very different game. Well, like I said, the good thing for this team, that will be a game tomorrow. There's no doubt about it. To try and turn this one around. I just think one thing, Chiba Jets just can't be a team that lives and dies by the three-point line. Because getting outscored inside the paint was a big issue for them. Chiba Jets 21 second chance points. I mean, that's more than Nagasaki VELCA. 10 points from turnovers. I mean, that's a key difference, as we mentioned. Of the 22 turnovers committed by Chiba Jets, 26 of those, or points were converted from those 22 turnovers. Lee Hyun-jung along with Stanley Johnson. Stanley Johnson finishing with a double-double in the end. Of course, very impressive performance from Stanley Johnson coming off the bench tonight. 22 points, 13 rebounds, and he was 5 assists away from a triple-double. Well, having said that, Stanley Johnson was also 4 steals potentially away from a quadruple-double. I mean, those are incredible stat lines. 22 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, 6 steals to Stanley Johnson. That's incredible. Well, one final game to win for them. That's all they've got to do. Can they do it? That's the question. Well, there you can see Ruku Golden Kings winning emphatically. The last time Nagoya Diamond Dolphins made it to the semifinals was in 2024, losing in the fourth quarter of Game 3 against the eventual champions, the Hiroshima Dragonflies. They'll have to win tomorrow at the Okinawa Arena. That game will tip off local time in Japan, 5 p.m. in Okinawa. And as I said, a 2 p.m. local time tip-off tomorrow. Nagasaki VELCA will take on Chiba Jets. Well, fans, unfortunately, it's that time of day, or evening, I should say, in which we must part ways. I would like to say a big thank you, a big 감사합니다 to all of the Korean fans who joined us on B.LEAGUE International. Naderman, Josh Bett, I would like to say good night, goodbye, and God bless. We'll see you tomorrow for the Game 2s here in the conference finals of semifinals of the B-League.